Good morning, Orchard STEM School. This is Mr. Hoydick, the art teacher. Today we're going to work on our architecture lesson. We're going to work on the castle. We're going to color it in. Now the castle, I'm going to make it gray. They were made out of stone or brick, and gray is a good color to use, but you can use whatever color you want for your castle. I see that the sun is in the sky right up here. So when I start to shade my castle, I'm going to have the shadows away from the sun. Towards the sun? No. Away from the sun? Yes. And I can start anywhere. I'll start up here. And what I'm doing is coloring in with a black colored pencil, but I'm pressing kind of light. That'll make it gray. And on the edge, furthest from the sun, I'm going to make it darkest. Like that. And I could color this section here. And then I will color the edge of this main part of the keep. And I can use the point of my pencil to trace around to make a nice sharp line that shows where the edge of this is. And I'm coloring over these brick marks, and they'll still show up. But if they don't, I can go ahead and trace them. Make sure they show up darker. And there we go. One side of my castle is done. I want to do this side now, of the gate. And so I'll use the same sort of technique, pressing hard on the edge, and lighter in the middle, all the way over to here. And I'll also make this line a little bit darker, and that line darker too. And this line a little darker. And then I'll trace around here. And I'll go ahead and color it in. Hey, there we go. Next, I'm going to do the front of the castle. And so, right next to the turrets, these are the turrets, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm pressing hard next to it, next to the turret, and then lighter as I go in. I can press hard down in this corner. And then I'll shade the top. There we go. And finally I'll do over here. You know what? If my brick lines disappeared, I'll just go ahead and retrace them. And anything that disappears, I'll just go ahead and retrace. See that? Now there's a couple more areas I want to do. Inside the wall over here, I'll go ahead and shade that in. There we go. Now I want to add another color to my castle walls, and that's brown. And I'm going to blend the brown. What that means is I'm going to color over the gray I already did. I'm going to color lightly. And when you color lightly with a different color of colored pencil, the colors blend together. So it's not really gray, and it's not really brown, but it's a blending of the two. I'm going to do that on all the areas I did, except I'm not going to do back behind in this area, and that area. I'm going to leave that alone. That gives some nice detail. And I'm actually going to keep using this brown, and I'm going to shade the other side of the castle. So anything on this side, you know, the right, closer to the sun, I'm going to make it more brown than gray. And I'll press a little harder on the edge. And I'll do this section down here too. Shading and coloring nice and even. And then, of course, I can trace any of these brick marks. Also want to shade this part in too. I noticed I missed something. And I'm going to outline the brick parts. There we go. And then I'll add a little bit of brown. I'm sorry, a little bit of black to the brown, but not much. Like that. Now, next, I'm going to do these turrets. And I'm going to shade them and color them like cylinders. So the edges are going to be pretty dark, and as I go into the middle, I'm going to press lighter. Edges are pretty dark. In the middle, I press lighter. I'm going to do that up here, and I'm also going to do it on the roof. But I'm not going to color it all in. I'm just adding some shadow. And this one on the corner back here. And this one that's in the courtyard. And if I'd like, I could take the brown, and I want to do the little roof that's on these turrets. Like so. I see that I need to outline this one. And any of my lines that disappear, I'm going to need to shade just a little bit darker to make sure they show up. And back here. Okay, there we go. Now's a good time for us to color the flags. And I want to use a bright red for the flags. I want them to really show up. Oh, and this one too. All right. Now let's see. The grass. I think I'll do that next. Before I do the grass, I want to outline the gates. There we go. Now let's do the grass. And I'm going to start with the grass next to the castle. And if I make small little lines, it'll look like grass growing up. And I'll outline here. And I'll outline down here. And I'm doing this with a little choppy lines that will make my grass. There we go. And you know what I want to do is outline around here, around the moat, up to the horizon line. And if I want, oh, I got an extra line there. Yep. Took it out. And I can go ahead and color in the grass. Little choppy lines. I'm going to make the tree, the leaves on the trees, different green, just so they show up a little better. Now, if I want to have some green in there already, I can do that. But then I'll blend a second green, a darker one, in with it. Yeah, hold the edge of your paper so it doesn't wrinkle like mine just did. If I see too much white, I'll need to color over it some more. And a little bit of green in the trees. There we go. And I'm going to use some brown to make the trunk and the branches. And right here too. All right. And this one too. And then there's that other green I spoke of. And here it is. So the rest of the tree, and I'm coloring in a circular manner. What that's going to do is blend in the lighter green and the darker green and make the tree look nice. Two more trees. All right, there we go. I want to add some brown for the mountains. Also some brown down here for the moat area. But I'm not going to color it too much. It's just a nice detail. I want most of the coloring to be on my castle. And there's the moat. And here is one of the mountains. And there's the other mountain. And finally the third and fourth mountain. And if there's a little bit of sloppy coloring, and there is, just color over it again, make it blend in. Got an extra line, take it out. You can also trace your mountains with the black. That'll make it really show up nice. Leave the white alone on top of the mountain. There we go. And if I want to trace the horizon line, I could do that a little bit. Actually, trace anything you want for that matter. I want to trace around my trees, just so they show up better. There we go. I can add a little bit of tracing there. And I'll add some more lines in the moat, just so it shows up. All right, what's left is the sky. And I'm going to hold my blue on the side. I used a nice light blue. And what I'm going to try to do is have all my lines going in the same direction. You can see I'm going diagonally. A nice light blue. Doesn't have to be super dark. Matter of fact, if it's super dark, it will pull your attention away from the castle. And it really shouldn't. The most important thing on this picture is the castle. And I'll even color over the sun. And with the corner of my paper, I have it held down with a rubber band. And I'll just do this. There we go. Where this cloud is, I'm just going to kind of make a wispy line around it. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do with it. Add a little bit more blue. All right, I want to look at my picture and see what I'm missing. I'm missing a little bit here and there. I want to do this path coming out. I want to do the bridge. When I color the bridge, other things disappear, so I'll have to trace over them. There's some wood for the bridge. Also, this area over here, I didn't color this. Add some more details. And if I need to trace around something, I can. All right, take a step back, take a look at my picture, see if there's anything missing or anything I want to add. When I'm done, I could take a photo of it and submit it for credit. Hey, the sun in the sky. And there we go. All right, guys, try your best. I can't wait to see your artwork. Thanks, and have a great day.